In this section of our video series, I would like to address caucuses during the mediation rounds. Now, the place to start is in the rules, and it is important that every team read very carefully Rule 2.1.3 and Rule 2.1.4. This will explain quite succinctly the rules surrounding caucuses during a mediation round. Now, a well-timed caucus request for an appropriate reason, and again, read Rule 2.1.4, is a great strategy, and it scores very well with the judges. They like to see caucuses being used. It's one of the strongest tools that you have at your disposal as a competitive team in this tournament. Now, the student playing attorney and the student playing the client should be communicating with each other during the round about when it is appropriate and most effective to call for a caucus. In the 5 minutes allowed, and it's only 5 minutes, it's not a lot of time, my tip is to clearly state to the mediator why your team requested a caucus. Here's an example. We requested this caucus because we are all struggling with the issue of, well, for example, financial concerns, and thought we might seek your suggestions for making progress on it. Now, I think it's important for the judges to hear the reason you have called the caucus. Don't assume that they understand or that they have the same understanding that you do. Make it a bit obvious. The first thing you should say to the mediator is why you requested the caucus. In the 5 minutes available, simply address the point of your concern that came up during the discussion and ask questions or ask for the assistance of the mediator in resolving these issues. And here's a tip, something to keep in mind. Be sure to keep your voices up at regular speaking levels. I've found that there is a tendency during the caucus for the team members to lower their voices for no particular reason. The caucus is confidential in nature, and perhaps that causes students to lower their voices. Remember, the judges need to hear you. Now, the rules also allow for a cross caucus, which would be the mediator plus both counsel or the mediator plus both clients. They're relatively rare in this tournament. I've seen them 1 or 2 times. It can be done very effectively in the right case. So think about whether a cross caucus would be helpful in the presentation of your case. The rules allow each team to call for 1 regular caucus and 1 cross caucus during the session. So don't forget those caucuses are available to you. The judges like to see them. And think in advance about the sorts of discussion and circumstances and the issues where you think that a caucus or cross caucus would be especially effective. And remember that each team under the rules may also call for 1 3-minute break during the round. You can see a discussion of the break at Rule 2.1.2. These are all tools that are very useful. They will help your score immensely. And I can tell you in the, quote, heat of the competition, it's easy to forget that you have the opportunity to call for a caucus where your side can meet confidentially with the mediator, or a cross caucus where you can simply mix it up and advance the discussion with the particular mix of attorneys and clients and the mediator. Don't forget to use your caucus opportunities.